Hello everyone, this is a review of my new pistol that I purchased. It's a Glock 41 and 45 ACP. It's the MOS version. A lot of you have already seen this pistol on various different YouTube sites. I'm just giving you a brief overview of what's on mine. The Glock 41 MOS comes with various different back straps here. I chose to put the curved back strap on it. It reminds me of a 1911 pistol. It's curved and it fits my hands perfectly. It protects from that slide bite as well. It comes with roughly 4 back straps. There are going to be 2 curved ones and 2 regular ones, and that is because people's different hand sizes. I have relatively small hands, but it suits my purpose just right. As you see on this particular firearm, it has adjustable sights with the square notch here, and the dot front sight right there. It has a different checkering pattern, or it's different from my previous Glocks I've owned. I had a Gen 2 and then it had a Gen 3, but this checkering pattern here has a good grip, especially if you got wet hands or anything like that. It gives you a really good firm grip. And I've also noticed that they changed the slide release. The slide release on this is larger now. And also, the slide release can also accommodate like small hands such as mine. I can finally reach the slide release. Before, I used to have to camp my hand over to hit the slide release to get to the magazine. So this works out very well with this slide release. On the Gen 4 MOS versions, this gun will come with a couple different accessories. Right here, you'll see the original plate. The original plate is usually here, and I'll get to the optic sight that I have on it in a minute. This plate is normally on here, so to look like any other Glock or regular Glock 41. So this plate is removable. As you see, I removed it to put on a particular optic that I wanted to use. There is a guy named Aim for Freedom. He's on another YouTube channel. It's called Aim for Freedom, all letters. And he wanted to put an RMR optic sight on his particular Glock 41. The problem with installing the RMR was people were installing the RMR with the supplied Glock plates, and it's supposed to be, if I'm correct, it's supposed to be a number 4, and it goes into the plating system here. I'm not sure if you can see that real good, but I do have a plate on here. I'll explain that a little further. But the plate, there's a plate right here, and he put the optic on, and the RMR flew off of the gun as he was shooting. I've also seen YouTube videos where individuals were using the RMR and the optic sight would fly off, and it hit this one gentleman in the forehead, cutting his head. Well, what the guy from Aim for Freedom stated was the Glock instructions weren't clear that you had to buy an additional plate. So the additional plate is this particular plate. I got this from Amazon. It's about roughly $12 or $18. I think I got it for $12. And if you can see, you have to have the additional plates and additional screws to fit in this properly. What I would suggest you do is to go to this guy's YouTube channel. He will explain it in full detail, and you'll understand what his complaint and what his gripe was, because you can't have a optic sight flying off when you're shooting at a range is potentially dangerous, etc. But this is the actual plate that you're supposed to have installed in addition to this plate so it can secure the RMR from flying off. So when I purchased the gun, I went to the gun store. I had ordered this on Amazon, and I was deciding to buy an RMR. The RMR is roughly about $435, and my gun dealer ran out of RMRs. So he showed me another product, which was half the price of an RMR. It's called the it's called the Venom. It's made by Vortex, so it's the Vortex Venom. This is a different optic. It's lighter, and what I like about this is you don't have to add extra parts like this. You can add the number one plate is what I used. I used the number one plate and installed the number one plate right here, and I was able to put this optic on with no issues, and it was on securely. Just to give you a rundown, sorry for the shadowing and reflection on here. Here's a picture of it here on the box. It's the Vortex Venom red dot, and it's 3MOA. And on the back, you can see various information. If you want to pause that, you can read all this. And it's supposed to help it's fully multi-coated, armor tagged, shock-proof, waterproof, and the other information on here. Here's some other specs that you could see, so forth. So what I did was I decided to go with this. If you see the price here is $249, which is half the price of an RMR. The RMR, the RMR is a great optic sight from Trigicon. It's a really good optic sight, but for my purposes, which I don't have much experience with optic sights, this would be a good beginner tool for me. Let me get this hood off here. This comes with the Vortex Venom. It's a protective cover so you won't damage your sight or whatnot when you're not using it. And this is what it looks like on the firearm. It's a really lightweight sight, really nice looking. Again, like I said, it's lightweight. Here are your buttons here. That's the button for, well, that's your adjustment for windage. And if you look on the top side here, this is a adjustment for height. And you see the two screws here that mount this to the slide of the Glock pistol. That's the two screws and your mounting plate, and it's right there. Right here, I'm gonna try to bring this up to the better light. Right here, if you see that little circle where it says open, right here at this section here, that's where you put your battery. And that's a good feature that they have on this particular sight. You don't have to take the sight off to reinstall the battery if the battery goes dead on you. All you do is unscrew it, place the battery in, and you don't have to take anything off. Let me show you what's inside this box. And inside this box, you come with, of course, you got your little Allen wrench here. You have additional screws right here in this little section in case you need them. This piece here, this is a mount here, especially for those people who have AR-15s. You can take this Venom sight, connect it to here, and connect it to where it goes on the M6, AR-15. I'm not familiar with the AR-15s too much, but apparently this adapts to it very easily. Here is your tool right here. You have a tool right here that's a screwdriver on one end that helps you to get to the battery, and this on the other side will help you to make the adjustments for windage and so forth. So they pretty much give you all the tools that are needed. and it's a very good thing that they do that. Uh, there's not too much I could say about this firearm. I just can't wait to shoot it. A little more. One other thing I want to tell you about the Vortex Venom is to turn this on. You just press this up button or the down button, and it turns it on. To turn it off, you just hit the down button. Uh, One of the other features that you can do with this, you can set this by pressing, I believe, this up button, and you hold it for an extended period of time, and it will flash 3 times. What that does is it makes the sight on this gun. It'll make the sight go into auto mode. So if you're, let's say, in a dark place or whatnot, or a dark area, this sight will cut off. If you're in a lighter area, this sight will come back on automatically, and which is a good feature because what happens is it will save your battery life. I believe in some cases, in the brightest setting of this, the battery life can be a good like 36 or so many hours. I have to check the manual to be sure because I don't want to misquote anything. But if you put it on its lowest setting, you will get really a lot of extended time. So I would invest in batteries, even though the battery life I understand is really good. But I like this sight. I just can't wait to go out and fire this. Like I said, I'm not really good with these particular sights. I've never used one before. I wanted to get a sight like this so I can do some type of long distance shooting, possibly shoot some steel plates in the future or whatnot. So I'm already familiar with the Glock pistol. I have 3 of them, so I'm really excited to getting to use this. So if you don't want any hassles, but by going through the RMR route and trying to get this thing installed, just buy this particular sight. It's half the cost of the RMR. The RMR is a good. It's a very good sighting system, from what I understand, and it's good quality. But if you're like me, that doesn't have a lot of experience with these type of sights, this is a bang for the buck also, because this sight is good for the price. It's half the price of an RMR. And the other thing, I was just stuttering, just trying to figure out what I wanted to say. The other thing about this is they have a very good program. It's called the VIP warranty program with this site. If you damage this site in any way, no questions asked, they will replace it. If they will attempt to repair it, but they will, if it doesn't work, they will replace it. No questions asked. I'm really shocked at that, and I found out this from another YouTube channel. There's a guy named Chase Pagnali. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing his name right, but he has some good information about this particular site. If you want to get really good information, more than what I'm giving you, go to his YouTube channel. Go and put in the YouTube search Vortex Venom Red Dot Sight, and his name should come up first. His name is Chase Pagnali. I believe I'm correct in saying it correct now. Chase Pagnali. If you go to his particular web channel on YouTube, he gives you a full breakdown of this site. And what's great about it is he also mounts this on another firearm as well. So that is much I can tell you about this. I'm very excited about this firearm. I want to shoot this real soon. I'll probably try to get another video up for you. And another thing I want to mention is I joined the NRA, all about protecting our gun rights. Right you see there is my Kimber version of the NRA registration, but I'm a big fan of Kimbers, so I own 2 Kimbers and I own 3 Glocks. So if you like this video, give me a like. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Also, like I said, you can go to the other YouTube channels that I told you about and find out information about both of these sights, some of the pros and cons with the Trigicon, and you can check out this particular information for this Vortex Venom. Take care, folks.